if there was a podcast where one NFL legend talked about football? What about two NFL legends?
This is Wideout's World,
where the gridiron comes alive. NFL legends Irving Fryar and Michael Timpson, breaking down the game from the ultimate insider perspective. Game recaps, upcoming previews, and exclusive analysis straight from the minds of those who've been in the trenches. Wideout's World. Let's do it.
Are you ready for some football?
We're ready for some football, baby.
We're ready for some football, baby.
Monday.
Da 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 da. You too young for that song, or you too old?
No.
You know that song?
I know that song, but they don't sing it like that.
Well, I put my own twist on it.
That's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Stay out the choir.
Look,
Fryar.
no, make a joyful noise. Make a joyful noise. That's all. What's
That
good, man?
wasn't
What's good? What's going on, everybody? This is WOW Wow Wideout's World, and I'm Irving Fryar, one of the two hosts of this show, and this is my compadre over there next to me, Michael Timpson, right there. Yep, former teammate of mine. We're both former NFL wide receivers. We're here to talk to you today with a recap of Week 6 in the NFL from the wide receivers' perspective, and to give our predictions for this a couple of games like tonight, and I don't think we're doing anything about next week, but we're going to give you some predictions.
Well, we don't have an off week. We don't have an off week.
What do you mean? Well, I said tonight, but on the list that you sent me, we got recaps, and the only games we're talking about are the two games that haven't been played yet tonight. Mm-hmm. The two Monday night games. Those are the ones we're talking about tonight, not necessarily next week. But so good to be back, everybody. We got Billy Bell. He must have been sitting. Billy, you must have been sitting by your computer, sitting by your mobile device, waiting for us to come on. We're on. Thanks, brother, for being with us. Let me get the kid count. Wow, over here. Okay, we got 5 folk that are waiting. Y'all
ready
come on
to
in the
hear
room.
your recap.
My recap.
Ready to hear the recap.
So our first order of business tonight, according to our coordinator, that's Mike, our coordinator. He's our coordinator. Got to coordinate. Is we're gonna talk about a prediction for Monday Night Football, the early game tonight, and they're both around the same time. But the first game, right? That's Buffalo at the Falcons, the 4-1 Buffalo Bills. They finally lost the game the same week the Eagles lost. No more undefeated teams in the league anymore now, which, I guess that's cool. Everybody's got to scramble. So it's Buffalo at the Falcons. The Falcons are 2-2, and Buffalo's 4-1. You want to start it out, Mike?
Yeah, just to give a quick prediction on this one, because it's starting here in about 5 minutes. They're going to kick off. Buffalo, Atlanta. Buffalo obviously trying to come back. Atlanta had an off week, which may be good. Mm-hmm. I like Atlanta's run game with Bijan Robinson.
He's their leading rusher and pass catcher.
Yeah, I like him, but I'm scared to go against Buffalo because the quarterback can run. But I'm going to give the nod to Atlanta because they're home. I'm going to give the nod to them because they're home. I'm gonna take a shot because I think Bijan can run the ball. Buffalo's defense, they're the 30th ranked defense against the run.
Yeah, they're not good.
They're not very good. So I'm gonna go with Atlanta to squeak one out at home.
Well,
now, if they was in Buffalo, I'd probably pick Buffalo, but I'm gonna go with Atlanta tonight.
Well, okay. Michael Penix is not reliable yet. those first, I mean, he got better the last couple of weeks. Those first couple of weeks, man, he was very, very inconsistent. He got good, or played, I should say, better the last 2 weeks, but he's still very, very inconsistent and very, very unpredictable. Buffalo lost last week in the whiteout game to the Patriots. They are embarrassed. They are a good team. They're not. I think they're a better team right now in terms of production on the field offensively, may not defensively, but more production on the field than even the Eagles. They're playing better and more consistent than the Eagles. They turned the ball over 3 times last week. I don't think that's going to happen this week, even though the Falcons have a great defense. They have a great defense. And that's what's been keeping them in games. That's why they're 2-2. Mm-hmm. But I just think offensively, Bichon's just not enough. He's just not enough. Although Buffalo doesn't do well against the run, Bichon is leading. When you have a running back who's leading, yes, the team in rushing, which he should be if he's starting running back, but he's leading the team in passing, there's something wrong with that. It's too much weight on his shoulder. So I'm going to go with Buffalo. I think they're going to bounce back after that embarrassing loss against the Patriots last week that they lost at home with the whiteout game. Wasted all that money buying all that white. Just embarrassing. I wonder what the Buffalo radio stations are talking about right now.
It'll hopefully just be a good game. I have no skin in the game other than the fact that I'm just Atlanta. They may play well at home, so we'll see. We'll see.
We've had some decent games over the past. All year long. You've had some surprise games, some upsets, some shootouts. There haven't really been that many games that haven't been entertaining. They were, the league is getting what it wants in terms of parity. Particularly now when you see there are no undefeated teams, then you got teams like the Eagles losing to the Giants. Nobody thought that was going to happen. You have Buffalo losing to the Patriots last week. Nobody thought that was going to happen. You got Chiefs, they were down, and now they're coming back. Well, they lost last week to Jacksonville, the Chiefs. So
then came out and beat Detroit this week.
But I made that pick. I got that pick. Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
I just didn't think they were ready yet. But again, they're looking good now. But yeah. So what's the news for the NFL? NFL news this week. What do you got, my friend? What do you got, my friend? What do you got?
Well, first, I'm in mourning right now.
In mourning?
Because my Nittany Lions, they fired the coach.
Yeah.
And, we talked about it last week, when they lost to UCLA. Now they came out and lost to Northwestern. So now we're searching for a new coach at Penn State.
Well, tell me.
12, he went 12 years. So, he had his
How
run.
many times did Penn State lose to Northwestern? No, Penn State don't lose to Northwestern, man. Come on.
But you know what? He's
That's a
lost
problem.
to them. He's lost to them several times.
Well, that's a problem.
He's been there.
That's a problem.
That really is.
Penn State don't lose to Northwestern.
Northwestern.
Just like Nebraska ain't supposed to lose to Kansas.
Right. But you know what? There's 2 programs that maybe surprise you. You may feel this way. 2 programs that are like Northwestern. It's Northwestern and Stanford. I've always had the utmost respect for those 2 programs. Mm-hmm. Remember David Shaw, who was with us?
Yeah, he was there with us in Philly.
In Philly.
Yeah, he was with us in Philly.
Great mind. I wish he gets back into coaching. You know that?
Yeah,
to be honest with you, I wish he'd get back into coaching. But I've always
I believe wasn't Ty Detmer there for a minute as like the offensive coordinator or something like that?
At Stanford?
Yeah. What was he there?
I don't recall.
Okay.
But those are two real solid programs, Irv. They play hard, they play smart, they play tough. So, I didn't think Northwestern was a walkover. Nah, I just didn't. So anyway, we're in mourning. So NFL news. I'm not on.
No, you're in mourning. I'm not in mourning.
Yeah, I'm in mourning.
Like we're in mourning.
So hey, let's start off with first. Okay, there's several things, man. Okay, I got 3 of them. You tell me which ones.
Go through all 3. I got a couple.
Well, they're probably the same ones. Okay, Titans fired their coach.
Yep.
Titans fired their coach. Yep. Tua calling out his teammates, and the Jets 0-6. So which one you want to tackle first?
Well, the only one I have that's the same as yours is the Titans firing Callahan.
Okay, we'll start there. Do you realize that I'm sure now that you've looked at it more closely, he came from the Bengals, offensive coordinator. Mm-hmm. He's been with the Titans since 2023.
Right.
You know what? I didn't like when they got rid of Vrabel.
Vrabel, yeah.
I thought that was a bad move.
Mm-hmm.
And they caught what was hot because the Bengals offense was hot. And so he was the hot shot offensive coordinator, and they picked him and said, hey, he'll be a good coach. And Vrabel had done very well there. He
Right.
had a down year or so, but that happens.
Well,
But he had stabilized that program,
Right.
and he was doing well with that program. The players respected him. They respected him throughout the league, and they got rid of him. So this guy Callahan. He was 1-5 at the same time last year,
Right.
and ended up 3-14.
3-14.
So now,
yep.
when he hit 1-5 this year, they said, "Oh no, brother,
he's 4-19 completely for his first 2 years. Well, 1 year and 6 games into the season, 6 games into the season. He's 4-19. That's his record as a head coach.
But you know what was really bad? Being an offensive minded coach, his offense looked pitiful. His first round pick, Cam Ward, looked awful. I mean, he was regressing. Instead of progressing. So I wasn't surprised at that move. But what I'll say this, and I'll give you the floor. They opened up that gate. You know who's next? From the Dolphins. He's next. Because he wants
I'm surprised he's not fired yet.
But it's a copycat league. Now that they opened it up and did it real early.
Yeah.
You'll see a couple more in the next couple weeks.
Right. Well, that was my take on the whole thing. Yes, he's 1-5. Yes, he was 3-14 last year, and yes, his total win-loss record since he's been with the Titans in 2 years or 1 year and 6 games is 4-19. I read something where the general manager and the owner were talking about he's not helping to create a winning standard that they're trying to build in the Titans, where it, I guess, used to be. They talk like they used to have it, or they used to be winners, and he's lost that winning standard. Well, for me, they never had. Yes, Vrabel came there, and Vrabel's now at the Patriots, but he helped to stabilize that organization. He helped to stabilize that team, but they never did become a winning team. They never did become a winning threat. Any given Sunday, any team can beat another team, but they were never a threat or never talked about going deep into the playoffs or even talked about possibly getting to the Super Bowl. So they never got to that standard. Yes, I understand they've regressed and they've gone backwards, and they realized they got the wrong person hired as the head coach, and it's time. I admire them. I have hats off for them stopping the bleeding. Let's stop this now. Let's get somebody in here who we can believe is going to help turn this team around. Maybe not this season, because it's tough. We've been through that, where a coach gets fired during the season and you try to regroup, or coach gets demoted during the season. We try to regroup. That's very, very tough to do. That's tough for those of you who are watching right now. This team, the Titans team, may get a boost in the arm and may win a game or two coming up, but it's going to be tough for them. Replacing a head coach mid-season, not even mid-season, beginning of the season, and trying to create some kind of momentum. The Titans host Patriots and Vrabel next week. This week coming, I should say.
I thought it was interesting that they fired him just before Vrabel comes back. I guess it would have been really embarrassing.
Well, they got a reason for losing now. They got an excuse for losing now. So if they lose, we don't have a head coach. We're okay. But it's a new time. I don't know how many coaches in the NFL have gotten fired 6 weeks into the season. I'm sure it's probably happened before, but it doesn't happen often. Usually in the NFL, I believe they wait at least till later on, 10, 12 games into the season before they start making changes. And yes, things have changed. I wanted to ask you too. I'm watching these games. This is Wideout's world, and we talk about the NFL and professional football from a wide receiver's perspective. The more I watch football, as far as receivers in the NFL and the DBs, the corners and the safeties in the NFL, and particularly since the changing of the rules, man, I've never seen so much hand checking and I'm talking about down the field, where I saw Pickett yesterday run down the field, 17, 18 yards down the field to make his break, gets to the top of the route, sticks his arms out. Extends his arms all the way out to stop himself on the DB, and pushes off and makes his cut inside, and the DB is grabbing him too, and there's no flag at all.
No flag.
And you see that on a consistent basis where they're hand jockeying, pushing off at the top of the route, making a break, they use their hands to start instead of getting their shoulders over their feet and stopping.
But the point that you're making is excellent, Irv. Here's my
the game has changed, man. It's gotten sloppy. They're sloppy.
But you know why it's changing? If you think about it from a viewership standpoint, they want the divas, which happens to be us. We carry the tag as wide receivers, the divas. They want that excitement. And you know as well as I do, and that ball's in the air, that's excitement. So they're letting those guys play a little bit more. That's what I'm seeing. Guys, like you're talking about, pushing off down the field, contact down the field. They're not calling it. They're letting them play.
It's crazy.
They're letting them play because they want to see exciting deep balls, bombs, all those things that wide receivers and DB bring that to the table. So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. They just kicked off the ball with this silly kickoff where they got to kick it in the zone.
Yeah,
I thought about you when I keep watching these games because you're a golfer. And you know how when you trying to take that, you take the 3-iron. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You take a 3-iron, you got to chip it up there about 50 yards out from the hole.
Well, not with the 3-iron. That's a pitching wedge or a lob wedge.
Okay, there you go. See, on the golf.
3-iron, you hit the thing a couple hundred yards.
but that's what they do. They're trying to kick it in the zone. So if it's kicked out of the zone, it's a whole hot mess, man. But anyway,
it's a mess. But yeah, I've never. They get sloppy in the routes. They're not strategic route runners anymore. They use their hands. I mean, all the time at the top of the route, ball's coming down the field. It's a deep ball. They stick their hands on the DB and move him out of the way to catch the ball. Yeah. And there's no flag. No flag. And then someone said, Michael Irving got hot. I don't know if you saw his post, but Michael Irving posted something, said, listen, don't say to me that I would never be able to play in this era of football. I would dominate in this era of football. This is Michael Irving talking. I would dominate. I dominated.
Michael Irving pushed off all the time. He
invented all the time. He said, I would dominate in this era. Tell me I won't dominate. What do you mean? I dominated every level of football I played. High school, college, and the pros. I won championships. He was hot.
He did do that.
He was hot. He did. No, he was hot.
But he did push off a lot.
But I believe all of us would fare better. Whatever we did in the NFL when we were playing, I believe we would fare better now with the new rules than we did. Because, man, we caught the ball in danger. When it was dangerous to catch the ball in the middle. It was dangerous to go across the middle and catch the ball.
Targeting was allowed.
It was allowed. That's what I'm saying. It was dangerous. It was dangerous. And you had to have a certain mindset. You had to have a certain amount of courage. You had to have a certain amount of stupidity as well to go across the middle and catch that ball and get hit like they were able to hit us.
What did Raymond Berry tell us? I know you remember this line. What did he always tell us?
Know when your journey's over. Know when your journey's over.
I'll never forget that. He said.
He also said,
"Don't want to be no hero."
He said, also don't go across that middle. Go across flying. Don't be flying across the middle. Keep your head on a swivel. You running through the middle.
Yes, sir.
but hey, he did want us to catch the ball though. Go on and catch the ball.
Protect yourself.
But protect yourself. Yeah, protect yourself. Because they were allowed to hit you any old kind of way.
All right. So I was dying to hear this from you. Tua Tagovailoa.
What did he say? I didn't pay attention to what he said. He said something.
Tua had the press conference after the game, and they say, obviously, what's the problem? What's wrong with him? He says, well, we got guys coming to meetings late or not coming at all. So he called him out and he said, we need to fix that. And so he's getting a lot of flack for calling out his teammates at a press conference. And as well as I do, that's kind of something that can be done or should be done behind closed doors. So I wanted to get your thoughts on A, should it have been done then? B, should it have been done behind closed doors?
Well, first of all, old school. You and I are old school. And we live in a different day and time now. You see it with other players, AJ Brown, getting on Twitter and tweeting or Instagram and posting things that should be said behind closed doors with teammates, with coaches. Yeah. So we live in a different day and time. You can't tell Tua that he's wrong in saying it to the press because of the day and time in which we live. So he voiced his opinion with the press. But listen, if that be true, what he's saying, guys are showing up late to me, then McDaniels needs to be fired. Because if he's not addressing it, I'm sure he knows about it. If guys are showing up late or not showing up at all.
No, there's player meetings. Right. So he would know about that.
Okay. Just player meetings, not regular meetings.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. Yes, sir.
Okay. I thought it was regular meetings. So, we're not showing up then. Yeah, guys don't care. So at that point, it's not a regular meeting. Yes, he should have addressed it in the player meeting when they didn't show up or when they showed up late. But if it continues to happen, then they got problems. But you know what? They had problems down there last year or the year before when Vic Fangio was there. A bunch of the young guys.
They don't have a bona fide leader. They don't have a bona fide leader, offensively or defensively. But here's the thing that you'll
McDaniels is young too. He's young as well. He's young. He carries that young vibe. He's young as well. So, like I said, 2 years ago, defensively, before Vic Fangio came to Philadelphia, he was the defensive coordinator with Miami. And he got out of there because he offended some of those young defensive players because he wanted things done a certain way, and they wasn't buying into it.
Right.
And not that their defensive players were any stars. And you see what Vic Fangio can do. He came to Philadelphia, and they were number one defense last year. In 1 year, just being there.
1 year. But they don't have leadership, man. When you talk about the coach, the players, they don't have leadership. Think about Zach Thomas when he was there. You're talking about the Taylor on the end. Those guys were leaders on that team.
Right.
You don't have that. Now, here's the thing that I didn't like about Tua calling him in the meeting. You just threw 3 picks.
Shut up.
You know as well as I do, you can't get anybody's attention. You can't say anything.
If you
have a game like that, you just need to just be quiet and say, you know what? I need to do better.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
You can't be calling nobody out. First of all, you need to call yourself out. Call yourself out. Yeah, I threw 3 picks. Yeah, I need to get better. I need to go work on my game.
Was it needed? Yes, but not like that. Not after you done threw 3 picks in a game.
But you know what? With the exception of AJ Brown and this year, the last couple of times he mentioned stuff like that, and we had here in Philly we had I can't think of his name now. Brandon Graham. Brandon Graham got on his show last year. He did a show. He does a show on the radio, or he did a show last year on the radio every week. He got on his radio show with WIP and called some people out, spilled some of the beans about what was going on in the locker room between AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts. And it blew up and caused a big old stink, but then they came together after that. So I guess sometimes it's okay, I guess.
I think they respect the leadership who called the meeting.
Well, he didn't call a meeting. No, he called it. He said it on his show. Brandon Graham said it on his show to the media live on his show. It wasn't no meeting. He said it's a mess and we need to get it together. So that's the other thing with the news. Zadarius Smith retired.
Yeah,
he announced his retirement
from the Jets. Yeah.
Yeah, he's from, he was drafted by the Ravens in 2015, and he played with the Packers, Vikings, Browns, Lions, and then the Eagles. He's got, this is his 11th season. Now, that's strange to me because he's in his 11th season, right? He's got 70 and a half sacks, 176 QB hits in his 10 years and 5-6 games. Mm-hmm. They're not playing him a whole lot. They're rotating him. Okay. So here I am, a guy, I mean, he signed a $66 million contract when he was with the Packers, was signed a big old deal with them. So here I am. I came to the Eagles, I'm sure, with the expectation that this team has the potential to get into the playoffs and to possibly get to the Super Bowl again this year. Mm-hmm. That's what everybody's predicting, and particularly when he came to the Eagles, that's what they, they still were like that. Now everybody's probably saying something different now, but so here he is. It's strange to me because here he is in his 11th season. I picture myself in my 11th season coming to a team like that where I'm just spelling. I don't have to play all the downs and be the man. I can just come in and contribute, and I can stay fresh, and I got a chance to get into the playoffs, get to the Super Bowl. But then he retires.
Maybe he was tired.
6 games into the season. He wasn't tired. He wasn't playing. He wasn't playing that much. He was doing okay. I think it's upset. I think it's a mess. I really think it's a mess. Yes, man, I think it's a mess. The Eagles are a mess right now, bro. We don't know exactly what it is. We can assume, but I think they're a mess, man. For them, you should have saw that game. I was at that game. It was a mess. It was a mess. For them to have all that talent, yes, they did have some injuries and key injuries on defense. Quinyon Mitchell is down. Keely Ringo is really bad. They had a couple of injuries. But, man, for that offense to be as bad as it is, there's no excuse. Got a couple linemen hurt, okay. But still, man, they got too much talent over there. That team right now is a mess. There's something to the aftermath.
But you said this last year. And they righted the ship.
No, it was different. It's different. They were trying last year. At least they were flying around, looking like they were trying to make some moves or trying to do something.
They lost 2 games. They've lost 2 games.
Yeah, but it's how they lost the games, Mike, and how they played those first 4 games. Okay, we'll watch and see. But there's something to, I say all that to say this. There's something to what people say or the statistic about teams going to the Super Bowl and then
this is true.
Having a problem the next year. Because we're human. We're human. And not only we're human, in this day and age, in this culture, these cats are making way more money than us, Mike. A whole lot of money. And they're young. These are young, these 22, 23, 24-year-old cats. And you mean to tell me that when people make it to the top, when they achieve a goal, they have the tendency, the human tendency to woosah, to exhale. And it looks like that's what they've done. As much as they talk about, well, we're not the defending champs, and Jalen didn't wear his ring because
it's early. I think it's still early. We're in the 3rd of the season. Okay. I just still think it's early. I just still think it's too early. We'll see. They ain't 0-6. They ain't 0-6.
No, they're not 0-6. Well, the Jets got a new head coach, man. Come on.
Okay.
Said Herman Wood said, is Doug coming back as OC to the Eagles? Herman Wood is on. You know what? I thought that came to my mind today. I actually thought about that today. That would be a great idea. I think it would be great for the Eagles to hire Doug Peterson as the offensive coordinator. I think he could do. That is the problem.
That's not the problem.
It's part of the problem.
You think the OC is the problem?
Patullo, yes, he's part of the problem. He's not the only problem, but he's a part of the problem.
What's the old saying? Players play, coaches coach.
I understand that.
He ain't running the plays,
bro. But listen,
he ain't missing long throws.
He puts the plays in though. He creates the plays, route combinations. All they're doing is mirror routes most of the time.
I think overreacting.
Okay, all right, we'll see. My mom said the Eagles need prayer and some hands laid on them. Mama said Eagles need prayer and some hands laid on them.
I think it's overreaction.
Bert Boykin, what's going on? Better find some corners.
Well, that's true. We talked about that in like first or second week. We talked about the secondary for the Eagles was crap. So
they struggle.
They need something.
They struggle.
All right.
We're going to talk about our top three receivers of the week. Then we got to get to moving a little bit. But our top 3 receivers of the week. You know what? There really wasn't anybody who did anything real outstanding this week. Nobody really just stood out among the receivers. So it was hard to try to find. So
no, you had some good ones. You had some.
They were okay.
Yeah. Okay.
They were okay. Who's your top three?
All right, here's my top three. My number 3 pick, wide receiver from the Chargers, Ladd McConkey. Here's why I like him. He reminds me a lot of Cooper Kupp.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing outstanding, nothing crazy. From Georgia, little guy. But man, he runs decent routes. He gets open. He catches the ball. He made a third down play that kept the drive alive for them and got them in field goal range to beat Miami. He ended up with 7 catches for 100 yards and 1 touchdown, 42 yards. 242 was as long as Ladd McConkey. I'm telling you, he moves the sticks, man. He's a lot like Cooper Kupp, and I like him. So he's my number 3. My number 2, I keep saying this guy's name just about week in and week out. And that's saying something that he's putting up some numbers. Jackson Smith in Jigba. In
Jigba. That's my dude too.
Seattle.
Yep.
A win against Jacksonville, 8 catches for 162 yards, 13 targets, 1 TD, 61 long. Week in and week out, he shows up. He's making the Minnesota Vikings think twice about Sam Darnold. At least I am. If they're not, I am. Mm-hmm. So it's almost the same thing when I felt how they got rid of the coach Vrabel too early. They got rid of Sam Darnold. I don't like that. So, but anyway, he's doing his thing in Seattle. So that's my number 2. My number 1, you got to have him number 1. I mean, anybody, being a hurdler myself, hurdling people, George Pickens. He tried a little bit too much, but he did hurdle one.
He did get he hurdled the first one. He was what? I didn't know he could jump that high, man. That cat was up in the air. That was pretty awesome. 9
catches, 168 yards, 1 TD, longest 45. We talked about he scored on 1 slant. Then he came back with the crossing route and then did the hurdle at the end. Here's the thing I like about him. You don't hear him making waves. They were talking about personality issues when he was in Pittsburgh. And you haven't heard a word out of him. If any place he should be making some noise is in doggone in Cowboy land, but he ain't saying nothing. No, he's just playing well.
I think he and CeeDee Lamb get along well. I think that's what happened. He came there and he and CD connected when he went to Dallas. So I think that's why you see him not only playing the way he's playing, but he's fitting in. He's taking his place and his space on that team, and he's playing well. He's really playing well. It's like his game is going to another level, and he's playing with more energy and more excitement. And he's more electric now than, he's doing jumping over people like that. He never did that in Pittsburgh. So my number 3 is Kendrick Bourne. He's the 49ers receiver for 49ers. They lost 30-19 at Tampa Bay against Tampa Bay. 5 receptions, 142, no TDs, 28.4 yard average, 56 long. He had 9 targets. He had 4 first downs, which is pretty good. But here's the thing about it. He's pretty consistent with Mac Jones. And Mac Jones, as you know, Mike, and as everybody should know, a receiver is only really as good. I mean, we can be good and have an average quarterback, but we can't be great unless we have a better than average quarterback. Receiver can only, there's a glass ceiling if your quarterback is limited and not one of the better. So last week at the Rams, they won 28-23 in overtime. He had 10 receptions, 11 targets, 142 yards last week as well. And he had 8 first downs. Those moving the chains, you got to be able to move the chains, man. You got to be able to move the chains as a receiver. So Kendrick Bourne, the Bourne identity, spelled it the same way. He's my number 3. And then Jackson Smith and Jigba is my number 2, just like yours. You gave the stats. But he's got 8 receptions out of 3 out of the first 5 games. 3 out of the first 5 games, he's had 8 receptions and 100-plus yards. 3 out of the first 5 games. In all 3 of those games, he had 8 receptions. He's had more than 100 yards. 3 out of the first 5 games. And he is on, and he's playing with Cooper Kupp. So he's sharing the ball. But he's on pace to break DK Metcalf's single-season franchise record for receiving yards, which is 1,303 yards. Yeah.
Okay.
And he's on pace to break his record for single-season receptions, which is 100. Mm-hmm. He's on pace to break that as well. So, yeah. And Jigba is playing well. And then, yes, George Pickens. And what I really liked about him, yes, great athletic move, catch the ball, and, I mean, he just literally jumped over. I mean, the dude didn't duck. He just jumped over him. He was way up in the air. What was impressive to me, more so, I mean, it's to me, is catching the slant and taking it to the house. There's something, to me, there's something special about a guy who can catch a slant.
That's a measuring stick.
Yes, and take it to the house. Because particularly back in the day when we played, because slants were dangerous. You got a bunch of folk in there. When you're running inside, linebackers, safeties, any one of them can take your head off. And you can catch that slant, get your feet on the ground, turn up the field, and
bite down on your mouthpiece. Bite down on your mouthpiece
and score. That's impressive. More so than the long ball down the sidelines. Catch that ball in the middle field and snap it and get upfield and score. Yeah. And that's the thing that makes me believe he's really, really happy in Dallas, that he's really in a good place. He and CeeDee Lamb have really connected. I don't think it's Dak Prescott that he connected with. I think it's CD. Because when you saw him do, when you saw him make some of his catches, you saw him doing what he was doing on the field, they would flash to the sidelines and you see CeeDee Lamb over there jumping around and being excited. So that
interesting when he comes back, how they'll pair up and down the stretch. It'll be interesting to watch.
Dak will get him the ball. It's one thing that people, we're always hard on the Dallas Cowboys, and we always have something negative to say about the Cowboys because they're the Cowboys and they talk a bunch of junk. But listen, Dak can throw that ball, man. I don't care what anybody says. As much as I don't like the Cowboys, Dak Prescott can throw that ball. You give him some receivers, he will get the ball to them. He's a good quarterback. Good quarterback. So we're going to recap Seahawks and the Jaguars. Seahawks won at Jacksonville 20-12. Seahawks are now 4-2, and the Jaguars are 4-2.
Who would have thought? Did you think that they would have these kind of records at the beginning of the year? They were afterthought.
No, but that's the parity that the league is looking for, in this whole process, changing things around. And, that's what it's supposed to be. When a team has a bad record at the end of the season, they get the higher draft picks. That's what it's supposed to be for, to help level things out.
So here's the thing with Seattle at Jacksonville. I mentioned it a little bit before about Sam Darnold. It's worth mentioning again that he's playing well. He's not turning the ball over. He didn't turn the ball over in this game. He has playmakers in Jigba and Cooper Kupp. And Jigba had 13 targets, like I mentioned. They had a last-second loss the prior week to Tampa Bay. So this team could even be in better shape. Think about it. I mean, they really could be sitting at 5-1. A last-second loss. Jacksonville, I picked them wrong the prior week, but now the whole week they were just reading their press clippings because they came out and they was like trash this week. I mean, I'm like, what? 10 penalties. Trevor Lawrence, he was sacked 7 times.
7 times.
They start dropping balls. They missed field goal. They missed the PAT. Travis Hunter lining up off sides, whatever, because you go up there and you can check with the ref. Hey, ref, I'm on.
You're supposed to. He must have been in defensive back mode. And, that nut that took away a 61-yard TD pass.
Yeah. I'm saying, like, what are y'all doing? Now, to his credit, he was in the zone. He got baptized. I'm sure he got
Lord
baptized
have mercy.
in the game.
Lord have
mercy, he did.
God does things decently and in order. You still know what's going on.
He got baptized. Right now, he was in the zone.
Yeah, okay.
He was in the holy zone. So that's all good. So
that's confusion. That's not God.
So here's the thing with Jacksonville, and I said this last week. I don't know whether or not they can handle success. And remember, I said, well, Monday night, I don't know if they can handle the big lights. They did for that game. But then you saw the real Jacksonville team this week.
Right, right.
So I just don't know, are they cut out for success just yet? They're on the right path, but I just don't know if they can sustain and handle success right now. So that's my take on that game.
The majority of the penalties, the 10 penalties, were on the offense. Mm-hmm. They had 2 on special teams that nullified two good runs on special teams. But all the other 8 penalties were on offense. So as you're saying, they're in the spotlight. The spotlight is hot. Can they handle it? Well, penalties speak of one or two things. They speak of the fact that you're not disciplined or the coach is not coaching well. He's allowing
I love that saying. Or I love they say
either it's being coached or it's being allowed.
You're allowing it to happen.
Right, right. So I don't know. And offensively, when you have a lot of penalties like that, that causes you to play behind the sticks, behind the first down markers. It puts you behind, and you've got to have these long gains, and it's 3rd and 15 and 2nd and 20, and you're playing behind the sticks like that. And then you have penalties in the kicking game. That's field position. That's real estate. That's you can't get that back. Yeah. That's almost like a turnover. And field position is very important in football. The shorter the field, the more likely you're going to score. And then you got kickers these days that kicking, you can be at the 50 and they're making it at the 50. Got them different kind of balls, so they score more points. It's crazy. But even when the 4-1 start, the Jaguars.
Yeah.
They had too many penalties. There were still a bunch of penalties. They were still having penalties. That was their.
Now they go to London. They go to London. They're going to be prime time on Sunday. They're going to London and play.
Who are they playing in London?
Oh, gee. I'll tell you in a second.
Oh, tell me in a second.
I'll tell you in a second. My second.
Seahawks held the Jags, and the Seahawks held the Jaguars to the longest run was 8 yards in that game. The longest run, it was 1 8-yard run. That was the longest run. And they became one-dimensional. And the Jaguars are not good enough if the running game is not – Trevor Lawrence is not good when it's only one-dimensional. He has to throw the ball to win. Now, I was watching some of the game. I didn't realize he was such an athlete. He was so, agile and fast. But, that one play he made, getting up off the ground, tripping and getting up off the ground and scoring, that was pretty impressive.
They play the Rams, They play the Rams.
Oh, they about to get rammed. They about to get rammed. So let's move to the 49ers and the Bucks. We only got 15 minutes. 49ers lost to the Bucks in Tampa, 30-19. The Bucks are now 5-1. The 49ers are now 4-2. They're talking about Baker Mayfield in the MVP conversations. I mean, I know it's early, but they throwing him in there, Doc. He dropped 30 points on the 49ers, and he didn't have Mike Evans. He didn't have Chris Godwin and Jalen McMillan. He didn't have Jalen McMillan, and he lost Mbuka in the second half.
Right.
But it didn't matter because with the backup receivers, he dropped 30. But in the third quarter, let me just give you the commentary. The third quarter, 1-point game. 3rd and 14. He ducks a sack, scrambled out of the pocket, juked the defender, and broke through 2 other tackle attempts to stretch for the first down. That was crazy.
Yes,
2 plays later, he pump faked the safety and unleashed a bomb to rookie Tez Johnson. And he dove. I mean, great catch. Great catch. And I believe that's Baker Mayfield, imposing his will and making his teammates, causing his teammates to play better. That rookie dove. That was a great catch.
Yeah.
Great catch. And he did it with the backup receivers. Baker, he's impressing me, man. I'm impressed. I'm totally impressed. Now, don't get me wrong. The 49ers had some injuries. Fred Warner went down in the first quarter. They didn't have Nick Bosa. They didn't have Brock Purdy. Rick Pearsall, wide receiver, didn't have him. But and then even Mac Jones was playing with some injury issues, but he got sacked 6 times. Good God Almighty. Todd Bowles. He didn't blitz a whole lot like he normally does, but when he did, it was effective. So yeah. The Bucks are tough, man. They're gonna be tough.
They are. San Francisco came into Tampa. I mean, they got too many injuries, man.
There's a lot of injuries, yeah.
I mean, they got Bosa's out, Kittle.
Yep.
Ayuk. You haven't seen Ayuk for like a year, it seems.
Yeah, I know. He need to retire.
Pearsall. And then you got a backup quarterback you've had for the last 3-4 games.
Mac Jones. Mac Jones, he's not good.
I mean, just for you to even be competitive, my hat's off to you, just keeping it together.
Right.
And Tampa, on the other hand, now, you talked about him missing Evans and Godwin. But here's the difference. They're playing with their starting quarterback. San Francisco is missing all those players, and they're playing with the backup. I think just makes a difference.
Of course. We just talked about quarterbacks. Yeah, of course.
So here's the other thing, too. Baker Mayfield is playing lights out. I'll tell you, I'm going to make this prediction right now, Irv. That run that you described, he won the MVP on that run.
You know, when I was writing that down, I'm like, these are the kinds of things or plays that people look at and use to make their decision as to whether or not he's the MVP or not. Yeah.
If it's close.
Plays like that, yeah.
Plays like that. It's going to go to the top. I mean.
And then right after that, 2 plays later, he threw that bomb. So that's a sequence of an MVP. Yeah.
And he's been doing it week in and week out.
Yep.
You know, last second touchdowns and all that kind of stuff.
They've been doing last second touchdowns 4 out of the first 5 games. They were behind with a minute to go in the game.
There you go, brother.
And they won.
And who's pulling the trigger? Him.
He is. Yeah.
And how many teams he was with? He started out with the Browns, then he went to L.A., Carolina.
First round draft choice, man. First player taken in the draft. First player taken in the draft.
And you know what? And you know what inspired him, I'm sure? When doggone Brady went there and won a doggone Super Bowl. He said, well, might be something good here. And went right there, and he's just balling. So
and you know too, Mike, sometimes it's sometimes it's a matter of time. It takes
change the atmosphere.
Particularly a quarterback. The quarterback is like the hardest position to play in professional sports. He's got to know like a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
He's got to know, the calls. He's got to know what the line does. He's got to know what the receiver formation is. He's got to know what the back's supposed to do. He's got to read defenses. He's got to read defenses pre-snap. He's got to read defenses.
He has a different coordinator.
That's what
he has a different coordinator.
And
that's what makes it so spectacular.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's taking him time to get to the point to where he's able to recognize, and then not just recognize, but allow his because he's athletic, man. He's an athlete. Yeah. Allow his athletic ability to take over when necessary to make a play in the game. Mm-hmm. And now he's to a point to where he's comfortable.
Yeah. And
things have slowed down for him. And not only have things slowed down and he's comfortable, but guess what? He's confident. He is confident because he's making plays, man. And that cat is dangerous. He's dangerous.
But the point that I was making about the OC, you will see a drop off.
Right. Yeah.
You don't see a drop off with him.
Right.
Because his OC from last year is in Jacksonville.
Right. Yeah.
You don't see a drop off with this guy.
Yeah. I mean, no, he's impressive. What he's doing, what he's done the last couple of years is very impressive. Yeah. So the Lions at the Chiefs. Lions lost. Chiefs won 30-17. The Lions are now 4-2. The Chiefs are 3-3. So after that embarrassing loss to the Jaguars, and I had said this, that Mahomes was playing the week before and looked like Mahomes again, and you predicted them to continue to do that. I said no, because I believe the Jaguars were excited at that point, and it was hot for them right then, and they went into that game and played well and beat the Chiefs. But after that, now they come back, bounce back. Now Mahomes does look like the Mahomes again. His stats were 257 for 3 touchdowns, and he rushed for a touchdown as well. 5 scoring drives in 7 possessions. The Chiefs only punted 1 time. 1 time.
One time.
Mahomes took what the Lions he was Mahomes. He took what the Lions defense was giving him. And he was dinking and dunking. All three scores were 9 yards or less. The three passes that he only passed for 164 yards, 17 to 21 for 164 yards. And that's Patrick Mahomes. Now, Lions defense was banged up. Corners out, Toronto Arnold, Kirby Joseph, and Brian Branch, who had to fight at the end of the game. The safeties were banged up. They're playing injured.
But everybody's hurting. Everybody's hurting right now.
Right. And they allowed their the second most yards in this season so far, 355 yards. Oh, no, it's season high. I'm sorry. It was the most yards they allowed this season, 355 total yards. They didn't force a fumble or turnover in the game, and that's the first time they didn't do that since the first game of the season, since week 1. And the Lions scored offensively their second lowest points in a game this season. So that whole fiasco with Juju Smith-Schuster and Branch after the game, boy, he smacked him upside the he smacked him good. And Juju went down. I didn't know if Juju was faking or what, trying to get a penalty, like it was a game. But he went down at first. I'm like, whoa. He ain't hit him that hard for you to be down like that. As hard as you get hit.
I know.
In a game.
So here's the thing about KC. I think we said this at the beginning of the year. You know, when the dust settles, they're going to be there, man. They're
going to be competing.
They're going to be competing because they got 15 and they got Reed. And, you know, how can you go wrong? So here's the thing. Remember how you started off when we started the show and you started singing? Here's my song. Yep. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Christmas?
With Kansas City.
Uh-huh.
They're starting to look like the Kansas City that we kind of predicted and expect.
Well, we said that last week when they were playing Jacksonville. The week before, they played well, and Mahomes, and I said it, Mahomes looked like Mahomes again. But he didn't. He looked at the beginning of the game with the Jaguars. They went down they were down and scored twice. They were up 14-0. And they looked.
I'm gonna chalk that off to be an anomaly. That you just had that game.
It's an anomaly.
Yeah, it's out of their system. But here's the thing. You know that they're capable. Rashid Rice is coming back next week.
Right.
They got Worthy. They got Brown. They ran a reverse touchdown with Brown.
Uh-huh.
Kelsey's backup tight end can make some plays. His name's Gray.
Yeah.
Here's the thing that I would hope that they would do more. They need to run Kareem Hunt. He's a good 1-2 punch, a lot like Detroit's 1-2 punch.
Right.
In their backfield. They need to get him involved more, man, because both of those guys run hard and they're effective and they're thumpers.
Maybe you should call Andy Reid. Maybe you should call Andy Reid. Yeah.
But I think if they get that thing cranked up, Irv, I really think that they're going to be unbeatable. But here's the thing. Here's the test. Their next 5 weeks. Here's their games. The Raiders. We'll take that one as, you know, let's get
where are they playing the Raiders?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay.
But the Raiders,
well, they were just
Commanders, Bills, Broncos, and Colts. So we're gonna know if they're for real or not.
Oh yeah. The Raiders, the Bills, the Broncos.
I'm not thinking about the Raiders as much. Commanders, Bills, Broncos, and the Colts.
Yeah.
In the next 5 weeks,
we'll find out.
We'll find out. And the thing about Detroit, I just don't know. Detroit, stop teasing us, man. If you're gonna be that way, be that way. I mean, he has a great tight end. I like Laporta. Williams,
but they got injuries like they did last year. They had a lot of injuries as the season went on. I think but they lost their whole defense at one point.
But that's not the case this year.
No, it's not. But last year they lost. Every defensive player had been down at some point, and they got two of their starting safeties are playing hurt. And obviously, we play hurt. We do that. And they got one of the corners down.
We just talked.
If you're not going to be effective, get out the game.
We just talked about Baker Mayfield not having his whole arsenal. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it goes without saying. But I just hope that they would fight not after the game, fight during the game, which their coach even alluded to that they didn't put up a fight like they normally do. They just got hit, and they didn't really respond.
Well,
So
Branch,
you know
Branch is going to get fined.
he's suspended. He's suspended.
Yeah, because he's been fined like 3 other times already this season. He's already had 3 other violations for whatever he did.
Yeah.
So he got another fine. They suspended him. They should suspend him because that was a punk move, and that was uncalled for. That was uncalled for.
But you know what got him going? When Holmes, and everybody forgot, when
he got blocked in the back.
When Holmes scored the touchdown. No, this is about Holmes. When Mahomes, when Mahomes went to shake his hand, he didn't shake his hand.
Right.
But remember when Mahomes scored the touchdown, Mahomes flexed on him like this.
Yeah. That's what he does that all the time. He does that all the time, though.
But I'm just saying the guy Branch didn't like that. So that's why when Mahomes
So what? Make a play.
I'm not agreeing with it. I'm just saying he had an axe to grind with everybody. He was just hot.
Lord have mercy.
So
well, that's why he got them other penalties and other fines, because apparently he don't like anybody performing at their best and doing their job. That's what an offensive player is supposed to do.
Yeah. So it happens.
So we got one game. I don't know if it's going to start here in a few minutes. Monday Night Football, the second game. The Bears.
Well, this was up. Atlanta's up 14-7 over Buffalo. The first quarter's just
wrong with them. What's wrong with them? Come on, Buffalo. Where's Richard Melton when you need him? Where's Richard Melton at?
You know what the first touchdown was? It was a run from Atlanta, about 25 yards out. It was a 25 yards run.
Where's Richard Melton at when he's not even on tonight?
He's watching. He's probably at a bar. He's probably at a bar right now.
Watching the game.
Looking at his Buffalo Bills.
So we got the Bears at the Commanders tonight. The Bears are 2-2. The Commanders are 3-2. This is an easy one.
This is easy for you? It was hard for me, but go ahead. What you got?
Well, that's because you play for the Bears. You got, you have an affinity for them. You have a soft spot in your heart.
No, I don't. No, I do not.
First of all, Bears are coming off a bye week. Okay. So they're a little rested. It's I never liked bye weeks. I prefer just keep playing. Jaden Daniels last week threw for 231 yards, 1 TD, 100 quarterback rating against the Chargers. And the Chargers have a good defense. That was his first week back. They have a good defense. They have a solid defense. That was his first week back after a couple weeks down from injury. So the Chicago Bears are 28th in points per game allowed. That's 29.3 points. They're 27th in yards per game allowed. They're 23rd in the red zone.
Oh, they're at the bottom, aren't they? They're
just
at the bottom.
They're at the bottom. The Commanders dropped 27 points against the Chargers, and the Chargers defense is it's a good defense. It's stated one of the better defenses in the league. This is the Commanders all day long because they're at the Commanders as well.
Yeah. Well, I guess what I meant, it was easy in a sense that to pick a winner.
Right.
But you know why I'm excited about Caleb Williams. I like to see him progress. I just think he has great talent for a quarterback. He reminds me of a young Mahomes, the way he throws the ball, how he torts and all that kind of stuff to throw the ball. He seems like he's a magician in the backfield. I'm looking forward to seeing him play.
They need to get him a rabbit so he can make it disappear.
I don't think
he ain't got nothing to play with.
I don't think that they can win against Washington. I mean, he has all the tools. He had Dume on the outside. He has DJ Moore. He has some weapons.
He's got a couple of weapons. Yes,
he has some weapons. I mean, the run game needs to get started to help him out.
Right.
But I'm interested to see these two young quarterbacks go at it. Remember, the last one was that Hail Mary or Fail Mary.
Right.
Was the last time that
Caleb he's fun to watch. To me, he's fun to watch because like all the other quarterbacks like him, Jaden Daniels, Jalen Hurts, not so much anymore, but the quarterbacks who are mobile like that, these young cats that are coming into the league, they are very, very entertaining. They are very fun to watch. And I'm impressed, like with Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams, I'm impressed with how well they throw the ball. They can put the ball, for the most part, they can put the ball in tight spots. They can anticipate a receiver's break and throw the ball to a spot where they know he's supposed to be. And when you can do that, you can make headway in this league in the NFL. You can go a long way when you can anticipate and throw the ball prior to a receiver making a break, knowing where he's going to be, throwing it in a hole. And man, that's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
Hey, I got one for you from a wideout's perspective. Are you surprised that McLaurin has not come back yet? Now he has a groin.
Terry McLaurin? Terry McLaurin. Am I surprised?
Out. Yeah.
Am I surprised?
Right.
No, I told you this, or I mentioned this at the beginning of the season, before the season, when the season was starting, because they signed him right before the season started, and he had not been in training camp. Even though training camps are lighter and less stressful than they used to be, you still need something. Yeah. You can't just show up and start playing football. You have to do some kind of football activity. And that's more than just running around the track or lifting weights or however they prepare themselves during the offseason to come to camp. And I said, more than likely, guys like that, they end up with some kind of 2-3 games into the season, some kind of injury, nagging injury that lingers for a while. And here he is. What do you have, a hamstring or groin, you said?
It's groin.
Groin?
No, yeah, quad. Excuse me, quad.
It's a quad. But there he is. And I wouldn't be surprised if when he comes back from that, something else happens.
Something else. Yeah. Man, that's a tough year, man. That's a tough year.
Yeah, it's tough to deal with that kind of stuff, particularly when you're a receiver. Yeah, when you're a receiver, you need your legs, man.
So hopefully he gets the full speed, because him and Deebo Samuels and the other young cat that they got, they can do some damage. So.
Yeah, Debo's doing well. I'm happy for Deebo. He seems to be enjoying himself. He's having fun. He's getting the ball. He's scoring. He's getting yards. He's doing this thing. He's being an asset. He's been an asset for them since he's been there. I think it was a good deal for them to pick him up and for him to participate the way he is. Jaden Daniels is a jewel. We'll see how he progresses over the next few years. All right. We're
okay.
You're breaking up, man. You're breaking up. What's wrong with your stuff over there? Eddie Casper is in the house. Jerome.
But you can't hear me? Testing 1 2. Testing,
I got you. Yeah. Preacher, how do you feel about the Pat? Is that Patriots? Is that what you're asking, Jerome? Michelle Morris?
So maybe ask you how the Pats doing.
Well, we both were Patriots. As a matter of fact, we were both Patriots at the same time, Mike and I. They got a little ways to go. I mean, I'll be going. Actually, I'll be going.
Are they back?
I think they're competitive now. I think they are competitive. I'll be going up to New England November 2nd. They play the Atlanta Falcons in Foxborough. I'll be at that game. So, I'm still a fan of the Pats. Of course, I was a fan when Tom Brady was playing. Shoot, I mean, who wouldn't be a fan of that of Tom Brady and the Patriots when they were winning all those championships? Right. It was fun to watch him, man. It was fun to be able to say, I was a part of that. I wasn't a part of them winning, but I laid the foundation for them to step on.
Have you been back to a game since you left?
I've been back to a game. I think it was 3 or 4 years ago. I went to a game. Yeah.
Okay. I went a couple years ago.
Have you seen it? You've seen it up there, right?
The new stadium, yeah. And
man,
it was Brady's first game back.
It's a new city. It's not a new stadium. It's a whole city, bro.
That's true. It is.
They got a city.
Yeah.
It's nice. Billy Bell in the house. Eddie Casper in the house. Thanks. Shout out to you. Herman Woods. Shout out to you, brother. Mama, we love you. Thank you. Burke Boykin. Shout out to you. Said Eddie Casper. Scott Teller. What's going on? He said, "What's up, legends?" And wow, you said something, Mike. Hey. And Jerome Michelle Morris in the house. Demetrius Cody. What's going on, bro? What do you think about the Cowboys offense? I think the Cowboys offense is productive. I do. I don't think they can stop anybody, so they have to score points. You saw them with Carolina the other night or last night. They got to score because they can't stop anybody. Micah Parsons is gone, and they were having trouble stopping the run when Micah Parsons was there. And now they really can't. They don't put any pressure on the quarterbacks.
They need a running back, man. They need a running back.
But
gosh,
they're exciting. And when CeeDee Lamb comes back, listen, CeeDee Lamb and Devontae Smith are my two favorite wide receivers in the NFL. CeeDee Lamb is the dude.
You'll take him before Jamar Chase? There's no way.
Yes.
Before JJ? Before JJ? No way.
Yep.
No way.
Yep.
No way.
Yep. I'll take him before both of them. CeeDee Lamb's the dude, man. I'm telling you. He's the dude.
Okay.
He's the
building
dude.
The team.
He's the
I'm
dude.
building the team. You give me JJ, you give me Jamar Chase. All day, every day, and twice on Sunday.
You give me CeeDee Lamb and give me Devontae Smith all day long.
Okay.
Devontae doesn't. They don't even throw Devontae the ball, man. He's got to play behind AJ Brown. You haven't even seen what Devontae can do.
That sounds like a personal problem.
Haven't even seen what he can do because he's playing Robin. He's got to play Robin.
That's all the more reason why I can't pick him to start my team.
When he was there by himself, when his rookie year, when that cat was killing it, and he still kills it. Okay. Anyway, all right, y'all, we out of here. We see you next week back here at Wide House World.
Watching.
Yep, thanks for watching. We appreciate your support. We're back at the same channel, same bat channel, same bat time. All right, this is Wide House World. I'm Irving Fryar. That's Michael Timpson. We'll see y'all next week. White House World.
This has been Whiteout's World.
Touchdown.
The legends, Irving Fryar and Michael Timpson. Are you freaking kidding me? If it's football talk you're looking for, I think we've got you covered. We hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. We'll be back soon. But in the meantime, find us on YouTube at Whiteout's World. See you next time.
Let's go! Let's go! Go!